In this lesson, we're going to modify our media page to hold the media we want to work with. So let's go into Pages, on our site, of course. Go ahead and open up Media HTML right there. Now, the first thing we need to understand is it can't be a template. Well, the reason being is we have to do significant modification to it to make it into what we want as a media page. But think of it this way. We're going to have the ability to add 2 videos and 1 audio to this page. Let's say, for example, we want lots more videos and lots more audios. Well, if at the end of the process of changing this one, you could make it a template again and then you'd have a media template. It's up to you. But I always like to, when I'm working in Dreamweaver, have this basic generic template page that I can open up and then I can reformat into anything I want to. So let's start by doing this. Let's go up to the word modify and go down to templates and select detach from template. Now let's call it media. We don't need these words over here. Let's delete those. We need to put in this area right here a bunch of videos and some audio. Now again, we're going to do that with CSS and HTML5. I know this is a basic course, but I'll tell you something. I don't care how basic you get. You need to know CSS and you need to know HTML5, the way we're working with it. Because once you begin working with external style sheets and reformatting, you realize the power that's going on here and you can do anything you want. So tell you what, go ahead and click in here somewhere. Just click. Now, because of the color I've chosen for my background, it's kind of hard to tell that we're actually in that area, but we are. Just click right inside there. Now we can go to our insert panel. We've been doing that a lot. Or we can go up to the word insert here and go down to article. Now, the first one we do, we need to change insertion point to after start of tag. And the start of tag is the main text box. That's where we are. Go into ID. Okay, the first ID is going to be main video. Just like that. Now go ahead and click OK. Now, from this point forward, all we have to remember is add insertion point. So I'm going to click to the right here. I'm going to go up to the word insert again and go article. This one is going to be main video text. Come up with naming conventions that you know and you can do in your sleep. And the more of these you do, the easier it will become for you. But the other good news is, if you create external style sheets with names like main video text, you can use that style sheet on any website that you want. So come up with good naming conventions here. Click OK. Now we got the 2. Now we're not going to waste time on this. I'm going to click to the right here. We're going to split the screen. Here it is right here. We have article, main video text. I'm going to select, because I need 2 of these, select all this text, but leave that closing tag out and the one up here, the opening tag. Just select these 2. Edit copy or use the shortcuts, up to you. Go ahead and click on the end, press the return key, edit, paste. That saved us about 3 days of work, I guess. Well, maybe not 3, but a few minutes anyway. Let's start again. We need 2 more for audio. Now, the reason they have to be different is because they're configured slightly different. So we need a main audio and we need a main audio text. So let's go ahead and click here. Let's go ahead and get out of here too. We don't need the code anymore right now. Go up to the word insert, go down to article, and go into ID, and this will be main audio. Okay. Click to the right. One more time. Main audio text. Click OK. Now, we've been here before. You could make a million of these things, and they're going to look like this, because they're not controlled by the CSS rules yet, are they? So we're going to go into CSS Designer right up here. I love this. Click the plus sign right here. Create a new CSS file. I'm going to browse because I want to make sure it's in the CSS folder. That is not necessarily a default. I'm going to call it main media. I'm big on the main thing, aren't I? But that's all right. Main media inside the CSS folder. Everything else, leave alone. Click Save. Click OK. I'll make sure it's linked, but that is the default. All right. Now we know the names, don't we? Main video text, main audio text. The numbers I'm going to give you that I'm going to plug into these sheets are simply based on the size of the videos the size of the box that we're in, and I've done calculations. We've done this before. So no matter what you do, it's going to be a little bit different based on what you got going. But I'm going to come up here and get onto main video and click right there. Then I'm going to make a selector, but don't forget you got to be here, main media. This is going to help me out, make it easier. There it is. Main content, main text box, main video. I'll click off, click on. Now what do we got going here? Well, in the main video, it's going to be 164 pixels high. Why? Because that's the height of the video, 164. Now the width is going to be 320. Again, that's because the video is 320. I want the main video text to the right and not below. Now that's called a float. We've been here before. So I'm going to slide down here a little bit until I get to float left. And you can see they're starting to float. Now don't worry about what it looks like yet. Sometimes it looks really bad until you get all the code in. And sometimes you just kind of work on one at a time till you get it where you like it, and then you move on. What I did is I made all the HTML5 up front, but I do know the numbers I need to plug in. So don't worry about what it looks like now. It's going to look fine in a couple of minutes. Now, I do also want a margin at the bottom. Now, what that's going to do is just give it a little bit of spacing before it goes to the next video. So we're going to go into margin right here, and at the bottom, I'm going to type in 12 pixels. Okay, so far so good. It's going to really look good in a minute. The next one is the main video text. So it doesn't matter which one you go to, but click to the right. Click the plus sign again. I love this feature. This is relatively new, where you can select an area and it assumes what you want to do. Main content, main text box, main video text. Yes. Okay, come out of here, click on it again. Now on this one, the height is 164. The width, though, is different because it's on the other side. It's to the right of the video. Now, based on how big the box is in terms of width, with some margin, 12 and 12 on either side, all these things were calculated in. If you don't have a calculator, you might want to get one. The number I want in here is 420. Looks really nice, doesn't it? Understand something. This one is actually floating over the top of this one. It is 420, but it's starting over here, and obviously I don't want that. So we're going to come down to our float and push it over. Again, it doesn't look perfect yet. It's going to. We're going to come back up into padding. And in padding on the left, I'm going to push it a little away from the video. So the padding on the left is going to be 12. That's our standard number, I guess. So it pushes it away. And we want a margin at the bottom of 12 to match the other one, to push it down. See how it's beginning to work? Our plan is beginning to come together. Now we're not done. Let's go ahead and click on main audio goes here, just to the right. Click the plus sign again. We have exactly what we want right here. Click off it, click back on it again. Now the audio, the height only needs to be 115 pixels. The width, 320, so they balance out. We also want it to float to the left on this one too. It's beginning to come together. We also need one for the audio text. So let's click here. Click the plus sign for selector. Go ahead and click off it, click on it. Height of 115, that's pixels, of course. Width, 420. We need to float it to the left, pull it over. I just love it when a plan comes together. And we need some padding on the left of 12 to match the others. Now that part, perfect. This part down here, not so much, because the box it's in is not big enough to hold what we want. So we have to make some changes there, but no big deal. Go ahead and click in here somewhere, just anywhere. I don't care where you click, just click. Click the plus sign again. All I want is main text box. So whatever is to the right, I'm going to get rid of. That's what I want to control, the main text box. Now, if we come down a little bit like this, or come up, I should say, we want some padding up here, don't we? So let's go into padding. It's right here. Let's do a 12. Beautiful. On the bottom, we want the same thing in padding, just like that. Now, the box itself, let's come back up here. We need to change the height to match all the stuff that we have so that it balances out down here. So if we go into height, double click, based on, again, what I've done by looking at everything, measuring and adding up everything and coming up with a number, the magic number is 468. Now tell me that is not perfect. Please don't tell me that. It is perfect. It's exactly what we need. So we have taken a page we thought was going to be for about. We changed the name to media. We added another external style sheet that controls that box. So we say, you know what? I might want to do this again and again and again. You can always, anytime you want to, come up here and say save as a template. And then you've got another template that you can use over and over again. Now we're going to close it. We are definitely going to save it, and we are going to save the main media CSS. There you go.